up, Doc? Your old pal Bugs Bunny here. I've packed my parka for a long trip up north. Say, why don't you come along with me to visit some animal friends of mine, all the way up north in Alaska? Here in these wide open spaces is where the brown bears live. Ready? Away we go. I just click on bears, and presto, we're here. Hey, look, brown bears.
That's right, Bugs. It's a mother brown bear and her babies. This is the first time they've been outside their den. Mama bear is very hungry. She hasn't eaten anything for almost 6 months. The 2 bear cubs are only a few months old, and they're hungry too. They strengthen their teeth by chewing on anything they can find. He's starving too. Maybe he'll have some of that chicken he stored away for the winter.
Poor Coyote. He just doesn't do well with boys.
Bears like to eat fruit and meat. They like to eat fish too, which is why Mama Bear is taking her cubs down to the riverside. But what they love best is sweet honey.
Meanwhile, they can eat just about anything. When there's no more honey left, they can even eat straw, just like cows.
Funny, I'm still hungry.
Careful now, little cubs. You don't want to disturb Mama while she's looking for food. The baby bears go off to play on their own, clowning around just like little children. But bear cubs grow up much faster than humans. By the time they're 5 years old, they're already full grown. They just love to horse around. It helps them grow stronger.
Oh, goody. I too want to grow big and strong. My papa helps me exercise so that I could be a big, strong bear just like him.
But the little guys aren't grown up yet. They'll need to stick close to Mom until they're at least 2 or 3 years old. She knows all the best places.
After all the fun and games, our little friends are tuckered out. It's time to have something to eat and then have a rest. So Mama Bear digs them a cozy bed where they can take a nap.
Nap time. Hey! What? I say, what's going on? I thought I saw a bear. Well, I did. I did see a bear. It's a mama bear making a snug little nest for her cubs. Well, at least someone's gonna have a nice, peaceful nap.
Mama Bear lies down in the bed she's just made, and the cubs know just what that means. It's chow time. Come and get it, little cubs. Delicious warm milk. Nothing tastes better.
After their snack, our bears will soon continue on their way towards the river, through the vast and rugged countryside of Alaska.
This little marmot seems surprised to see a family of bears go lumbering by. As you can see, marmots look a little bit like squirrels. They don't speak the same language, though. The marmot's cry sounds like a squirrel with a nasty cold. The speed at which bears travel depends on the young ones. Sometimes the mother has to stop and wait for her cubs.
Hey, there are 8 different varieties of bears. As well as our brown bears, there are black bears and panda bears.
Alaska is covered by wild and rugged terrain, but our bear friends don't mind. When they come across a snowy slope, they slide right down it like furry skiers. It's a blast.
Fun? Well, I can have fun sliding down a slippery slope, too.
Having problems, Sam? Here, let me give you a pull.
Oh, you corn sarn varmint! Frackin' rabbit! Ugh.
Ah, spring is here, and in the wilds of Alaska, beautiful flowers grow. The snow melts and runs into little streams that soon turn into mighty rivers.
Yes, but now that there is no snow left, what will happen to the little bears?
They'll go fishing, I guess.
That's right, Bugs. This is the bears' favorite time of the year. It's when they all gather together to fish for salmon in the Yukon, the largest river in Alaska. Most of the time, salmon live in the sea, but in the spring they swim up rivers to lay their eggs, and that's where the bears wait for them. As you will soon see, bears are expert fishermen.
Champions? I'll show you who's the champion fisherman. Now ducks know how to fish. Ah! Get me a bear! And quick!
The bears have developed a wide variety of fishing techniques. Some dive into the water and chase the fish, while others wait for the fish to swim right past their muzzles. And look at this crafty fellow. He's trying to flip the fish out of the water with his paw.
You know, bears believe that instead of going out for dinner, dinner should come to you. Watch carefully.
Listen, Bub. I'm tired of all these bears getting the food. Move over, you bears. Let me get at those salmon.
You see, Sylvester, catching salmon is not as easy as it looks.
Oh, no.
This young bear is trying to catch a big one, but the fish is too fast for him. The best way to learn is to watch Mama Bear. She makes it look so easy. Well done, little cub. You've just caught your very first salmon. Enjoy your well-earned meal. Not every cub is so lucky, though. No need to worry. There's plenty of fish in the sea. Make that river.
It's surprising how agile bears can be, especially when you think that when these cuddly creatures grow up, they can weigh over 1,400 pounds. Hey, that's about as many pounds of carrots as I eat in a year.
When they stand on their hind legs, bears can be up to 9 feet tall. After they finish their meal, bears like to wash their hands, just like humans. Then it's time to settle down for a rest by the riverside. Bears love the water. They're very good swimmers and excellent divers.
Hey, watch this!
Now, if you'll just bear with me for a moment, I'd like to take you for a visit to another animal that lives in the north of America. This is where it lives. Can you guess who it is? It's a beaver, Doc.
That's right, Bugs. Just look at the den they've built for themselves. The mother beaver arrives home, but she won't be coming through the front door. The entrance to the den is underwater. Inside, the baby beaver is glad to see his mama. Here comes the father beaver. It looks like he's brought something with him. It's a branch to fix a hole in the dining room. The twigs and branches beavers use to build their den also serve as food. Beavers are fine builders, and they're always busy fixing something around the house. Beavers are the best craftsmen in the animal world. They use only the strongest, sturdiest wood for their homes, which they live in their entire lives. Young beavers often stay home alone. Even at a very early age, they're capable of looking after themselves. Their eyes are open and they can already swim.
Pretty soon, Mom and Pop will take Junior outside to discover the great outdoors. He's got a lot to learn.
Yes, they need to learn where to find the best building materials for their home. Sometimes it's underwater, which means they'll have to learn to carry branches while they swim. When beavers slap the water with their tails, it's a warning signal to the others. The young beavers must learn this signal at a very early age because danger lurks everywhere. But as long as they stay in the water, they'll be safe. They have no natural enemies there. Needless to say, beavers are excellent divers and fast swimmers too, because of their webbed feet. Their wide tail is also quite useful. They use it like an oar to help them steer and accelerate in the water. Thanks to their broad tail, they can swim almost as well as fish. But unlike fish, beavers are mammals, and they're agile on land as well as in the water.
But Pepe can be agile in the water too, if there is love to be found. Ah, the beaver femme fatale. Where are you going, darling? Do not swim away.
The crystal clear water is a wonderful place for beavers to live. There's plenty of space to travel with the family. But beavers have no interest in fishing because they don't eat fish. When this baby beaver is 2 years old, it will be as big as its parents. Full-grown beavers are approximately 3 feet long and weigh about 70 pounds.
I'll just give the okay sign, and down I go. Where are they? Ah, there's one. Hey, beaver, wait for me. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Scram, school's out. Ah, there he is. How on earth do they breathe?
Beavers are champion divers. They can hold their breath underwater for more than 15 minutes. When the sun comes out, the beaver looks for somewhere quiet to have a wash and brush up. They must take good care of that beautiful fur. They scrub and brush their fur until it shines. By doing this, they coat their fur with natural waterproof oils, which helps them glide through the water.
For beavers, this lake is a smorgasbord. They just love these water lilies. They hold the leaf firmly in their paws and chomp quietly away at it. Delicious.
Beavers also like the juicy bark on small branches. They nibble on the bark as if it was corn on the cob. It's not surprising that beavers are such good nibblers. They're members of the rodent family. Beavers are vegetarians, which means they only eat plants. This beaver finishes up his snack, then he's ready for a nice swim across the lake. It looks like Father Beaver's found another sturdy branch, just what he needs to strengthen the living room. And if he ever gets hungry, he can just take a bite out of the wall. Snacks are never far away in a beaver's home. The design of a beaver's house is always changing. They never stop adding on and redecorating. And for protection purposes, beavers always build their homes in the middle of a stretch of water.
Time to check in on our bear friends who are just getting ready for fall. You know, the poor fellas are having a really hard time finding snacks.
Our bears look like they're starting to get tired too. Winter is just around the corner and it will soon be time for their long sleep, what we call hibernation. They have a thick fur coat, but they'll need an even thicker one for the coming winter. Luckily for bears, their winter coat grows naturally, so they don't have to do any shopping. The bears keep searching for any last morsels of food so they can build up the thick layer of fat under their fur. They'll live off this fat while they hibernate. The bear cubs have grown fat too, almost as fat as their parents. But now and then they still have to act like babies and drink their mother's milk. Mama Bear knows the routine well. She rolls over on her back and lets her cub settle down on her tummy to drink her milk.
Enough of those bear cubs. Here's a big baby for you.
Sylvester, what's wrong with you, you crazy pussycat? You're no baby. Drinking from a bottle. And you, in that silly blue bonnet.
This will probably be the last year the bear cubs spend with their mother. When they are 3 years old, brown bears grow big enough to go out on their own.
I can fly south for the winter, of course. But, what about the bears? Huh?
Don't worry about them. Bears are intelligent creatures and have more than one trick up their sleeve.
They do?
Sure, Daffy. Every winter, year after year, the bears find their way back to their old cave, the same one they will use for their entire life.
I'm just the duck to help them find their cave.
Looks like this cave needs a little tidying up. Time to clear out the entrance and make some room for everyone. While Mommy Bear gets to work, her children sit quietly and wait. They're itching to get back to their bedroom and snuggle down for their long winter's sleep.
Get your snow boots on, Doc. It's time for us to travel all the way to the Arctic Circle and pay a visit to my friends, the polar bears.
And here they are, Bugs, a mother polar bear and her 2 cubs. Her babies were born during the long winter months, and this is their first trip out into the daylight. Goodness gracious, they seem to be saying. It's so bright out here, so different from our cave, with snow as far as the eye can see. It's kind of scary out here. Better stick close to Mama. Hey look, Mama found a little slide for us to play on.
And here we are in the Arctic.
The Arctic?
Yeah, the land of the polar bears.
Bears?
Take a look-see.
Yes, I see 'em. But let me tell the story. Now then, here we have a white bear, a big one, and behind him a little bear. Must be a cub.
Keep talking, Marlin Perkins.
Oh, yes, the bear grazes on the ice, because it's hungry. The baby bear drinks its mother's milk. Milk? Sheesh, that milk must be frozen solid.
Listen, Daffy, maybe I should take over for a while.
Fine, I'm freezing.
We're on vacation.
This is a vacation? Oh, there's snow and ice, and there's nothing to do.
Well, there's plenty to do here if you're a bear.
You can slip and slide about, or warm yourself in the spring sunshine. There's always something to do, and even though everything is white, it's all new to the young bear cubs. Now it's time to go exploring. Watch out, it's a bit slippery over here. Polar bears don't feel the cold, and their paws are so furry they can run on the ice as if they had thick snow boots on.
Hey, Bugs, here comes the bears.
Daffy, you're just a little frosted up. You know, thanks to their fur, the bears can withstand temperatures of minus 58 degrees. Plus, those guys are always on the move. Helps them keep warm, especially when the temperature dips to 50 below.
There's plenty of exploring to be done here in the Arctic. There are even real ice mountains for the polar bears to climb. Baby polar bears must learn to climb while they are still young. But that's enough exercise. It's time to get some work done. Down to the sea we go to find some food for Mama. Polar bears feed mainly on fish and seals, and they're always hungry.
I'm hungry too, and that rabbit leaves me to fend for myself. Speak of the devil, it's you! Trying to hide, huh? It is you! Well, take that, and that, and that! Nice, giant, hungry bear. Luckily, I got away.
Uh-oh, sliced duck. That Daffy, he's always falling to pieces. Fortunately, there are smaller, less dangerous animals than bears on the ice floes. Foxes, for example.
A fox? You call that a fox? Looks like a snowball with legs.
It's a little Arctic fox, Daffy. They often follow the polar bears because they like feasting off their leftovers. The Arctic fox looks like a little snowball, but its fur is only white during winter, for camouflage. In the summer, their fur turns gray or brown.
Look, bison! Or are they buffalo?
No, those are musk oxes. See their droopy horns? And here's a great herd of caribou. It looks like our friends the polar bears are back. The snow is beginning to melt now and life will be easier for them. They can even allow themselves a little time for sunbathing. In the Arctic, the sea is always frozen during the winter, but the polar bears aren't afraid of slipping on the ice. This is their natural environment and they're quite used to it.
Well, I'm not afraid of slipping either.
Pardon?
I say I'm not afraid of slipping either.
I can't hear you, Daffy.
I said I'm not gonna slip!
Yoo-hoo, Daffy! Are you all right?
Just a little slip.
You may think these bears are fighting, but they're just practicing. They won't really hurt each other. And there are lots of other games to play. This little cub is having a great time all by himself, playing with a piece of ice he's found. This looks like a great place for a game of ice hockey. No need for skates, though, and there's even an audience.
I hope he doesn't crack the ice.
Pony Cat, you know you shouldn't pester the bears. That big bear, he mad at you.
Oh, you think so?
Don't worry, I help you hide.
The sea is freezing cold, but that doesn't bother the polar bears. Their thick fur protects them like a wetsuit. The water never even reaches their skin. The polar bear's fur is 5 inches thick and covered with oil. Polar bears are also excellent divers and feel right at home in the frigid water. They are a fine example of an animal perfectly adapted to its environment.
Wait for me! I want to dive with the bears, too!
Wait, Daffy!
Don't worry, I know how to dive!
Daffy! Daffy!
The water was frozen. And look at him.
Ah, I get it. Crafty, these bears. See how they chose a spot where the sea ain't froze over? It's much easier that way.
Not as easy as it looks, though. Polar bears are excellent swimmers. They can swim for miles without a rest. Even on land, these great white bears can run twice as fast as a human being. That's even more amazing when you realize they can weigh up to a ton, as much as 2 cows. And if a bear like this one stood up straight, he would hit his head on your bedroom ceiling. At 10 feet tall, they're the biggest land predators on Earth.
Wow! Just take a look at that! Such grace, such agility, amazing!
I'm so glad you're enjoying your little bear friends. But as for me, it's time I flew the coop. This little black duck's heading south. Bye-bye, bears. I'm going somewhere where it's warm.
I guess Daffy's just not the explorer type. Oh well, say, it looks like our polar bear is tired. While he has a rest, let's do some more exploring. Let's go to the other side of the world, the Falkland Islands at the southern tip of Argentina.
This is where the penguins live, those funny birds who seem to be wearing tuxedos. In the spring, they travel from the Antarctic to the Falkland Islands, where they will mate and raise their family. The climate on this coastline is extremely harsh, and the wind is as cold as ice. But the penguins don't mind. Their bodies are insulated.
All right, who installed this speed bump here?
Welcome to Penguin Land. We can watch them play together every day. And when you get cold, I will cuddle you to keep you warm.
Oh, great. It's my lucky day. So, how do the penguins keep warm anyway? They don't even have any fur.
Just like I keep you warm by cuddling you and snuggling you.
Oh. Help! I can't breathe!
Fortunately, it's not always winter on these islands. Spring will soon be here. The snow will melt and the lush green grass will begin to grow again.
Now it's time for the penguins to head for the coast. They waddle about in the tall grass, and when one of them finds the right direction, he points the way for the others. Which way do we go, they seem to be asking. Left or right? I say, straight ahead. Come on, fellow penguins, forward march.
The penguins finally reach the coast. There are thousands of them. It's not always easy to find your pal in such a big crowd, so the penguins call out to each other in their own penguin language. What a relief when they find their friend.
Each female penguin lays 2 or 3 eggs in a shallow nest they dig in the ground.
Listen, Bub, those penguins may know how to lay eggs, but they don't know anything about hatching them. I'll show them how it's done. Just fluff up the old nest here, and then I'll... Oh, no, my egg! Come back here, Junior! You're not even hatched yet! Stop, I tell you! Stop! Stop! Well, as long as you're with your brothers and sisters.
Unlike Daffy, the penguin parents take great care of their eggs. They sit on them to keep them warm until they hatch. It's best not to disturb them.
Hey, I think it's done. Shh! Yow! A baby cactus!
Once the eggs are hatched, it's time for a shower to freshen up. Here are 3 newborn baby penguins. It's their first day outside the egg. When they're born, the chicks do not have their black and white feathers. They'll stay gray for a while. These baby penguins are lucky. Their mothers will protect them and never leave them alone. And here is the penguin's neighbor, the albatross. Unlike penguins, these great big birds can fly. They're here to hatch their eggs, which they lay in high nests like this one. Each albatross only lays 1 egg. baby penguin is starting to grow up. It's time for him to learn to fend for himself. But always under the watchful eye of his mother. Shoo, she seems to be saying to the albatross, we don't want you around here. Move along, please. There, that's more like it. As they grow, the baby penguins will change color, their fine down turning to a handsome blend of black and white feathers.
A little later, the young penguins will lose their fine down and grow feathers instead. This is called molting, and it makes a terrible mess all over the rocks.
Here is a young penguin molting. Boy, does it itch all over.
¿Qué pasa, Señor Daffy?
Listen, these penguins aren't the only ones around here molting. Some of these feathers are mine, so keep your paws off, Speedy.
I think he looks better without the feathers.
Sometimes molting penguins can use a little help from their friends because the feathers on their backs are the hardest to reach and the last to fall out.
Once the penguins have changed their feather coats, it's time for them to learn to swim, and it's not always easy.
They make their first try at swimming in a sheltered spot, a swimming pool for beginners, if you will. Just like baby birds have to learn to fly, baby penguins must learn to love the water. A little bath will do for a start. The rough sea with the big waves can wait until later. Not bad for a beginner, eh? It's just good, clean fun. Although penguins are extremely swift and agile in the water, they look rather clumsy on land. Whoops! The path down to the sea is very slippery. Fortunately, penguins have thick feathers, so they never hurt themselves when they fall. All right, penguins, down to the sea you go. Come on, you're almost there. It'll take a lot of courage to be the first one into the water. There you go. Now the others will follow his example.
Penguins schmenguins. I'll show you some real diving. Out of the way, you penguins! Here I come!
I missed.
Penguins like to stick together in the water. They move around in groups and sometimes jump into the air like dolphins. These are Gentoo penguins. Rather than diving, they prefer to lower themselves gently from the shore. The emperor penguin is the biggest of all the penguins. They can grow up to 3 feet high.
Oh, yeah? Wait till I get these stilts on. I'll show those measly emperor penguins who's tallest.
Penguins are knowledgeable swimmers. They leap out of the water not only to take a breath of air, but to help them swim faster.
Say, where'd the penguins go? Those aren't penguins! Oh, here they come. Say, fellas, what took you so long? And why are you so dressed up?
Nobody really knows why penguins are always in such a hurry. But wherever they're going, the most important thing seems to be following their leader. Good luck, fine feathered friends. Off you go to explore new horizons.
We got lots of new horizons. I hope you like bear country and the land of the penguins. But let's say goodbye to our penguin friends. And if you want to come with me to explore other lands, there are lots more animals for you to see. We could go to the land of the elephants. Or discover animals that live in the sea. How about monkey country? Or even lion land?